energy is your currency. Your energy is your currency, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know when I have $1, when I have $1 million. You can't tell the difference. My energy is the same, bro. You keep the same energy at all times, every day.
Hollywood Hino, just like the name sounds, standout amateur boxer, a top-ranked and could have been a champion professional boxer, was on the show Contender. Put down the gloves right before he was going to fight for a title because he enjoyed training people. Not only said he's going to be a coach, but he's going to be the best. He's what you would consider one of the most famous boxing coaches in the world. Works with people like Usher, Kevin Hart, Carmelo Anthony. The list goes on and on and on. But he's so genuine. It's the same guy. You meet him every time. He hasn't changed. Always a bringer of energy, positive. Although his name is Hollywood Hino, he's not Hollywood. When you're up, he's right there with you. When you're down, he's with you even more. So check this dude out. You're gonna take a lot from him.
You out there?
Brother in the building. It's a cold world.
Do you think there's a difference between a trainer and a coach?
Yes. Trainer could be just somebody that's just helping you like lose weight or something. It depends on what your goals are. You want to become world champion, you want to be undisputed champion, they need a coach. Coach is like every day. A trainer's like, oh, I'll see you next week. I'll see you once a week. I'll see you twice. A coach is like every day. Sunday, Christmas is like your father figure. All my coaches were father figures. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to go train with my trainer. I never even called them trainer. I used to call my trainer my coach Pops. You know what I mean? Because I saw them every day. I saw them more than I saw my real dad. So there's a huge difference between a coach. That's why they say life coach, because you're putting your whole life in the person's hands.
1, 2, step back 2. Good, Jack, Jack.
I spoke to Mike Tyson one time and he said that he trained early because he knew his opponent was sleeping. I was like, wow, that's crazy. He said, yeah, I train early because I know my opponent is not doing it at 5 a.m. or 4 a.m.
Earlier you said something, you said in boxing, if you're in boxing, good things happen. What do you mean by that?
What's out there in the streets? Nothing. In the streets is like trouble, jail, distractions. There's nothing out there in the streets. But when you're in boxing, good things happen, positive things happen. Good things happen when you're in boxing because boxing is an international sport. People respect the sport so much that when they meet you and they find out you're a fighter.
Successful amateur career, successful boxing career,
Amen.
One of the biggest TV shows. You could have kept going, and then you transitioned into working with other people, training celebrities.
Teaching the game.
What made you make that transition?
You gotta look at yourself in the mirror. You gotta look in the mirror and like, okay, I'm getting good at this training stuff. I'm still in a boxing gym every day. I can do this and still make a living. Not as much as I would if I was competing, but without the injuries, without the running at 3 a.m., I can still make a decent living. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna be the best. Then I became the best at it, and then I was like, I don't wanna be the best. I wanna be the only person that does this.
How was your amateur career?
My amateur career was amazing, man. I went to a boxing gym with John Davenport, late great John Davenport. I think like the second year when I made like the USA team, it was me, Louis Collazo, Daniel Judah, Paulie Malignaggi. There was so many world champions that came out of that class in '98. And then he was like, all right, let me see what this kid got. I learned the basics, how to throw a jab and all that. But when I met John Davenport, that's when you learn how to box, man. That man was hands-on. He was coming in there with like 40 years experience of boxing. I didn't know shit. No, I'm dead ass. When you go to somebody real that knows what the fuck they're doing, like experience is the best teacher. He corrected like everything I was doing, man. A lot of guys don't go far in boxing or a difficult sport. It gets tougher and tougher. And it just take a different kind of animal to want to put up with that. If you're not making millions in the sport, It's discouraging, man.
Did you always plan to turn pro?
No, I was happy with amateurs.
What made you turn pro?
Davenport, he was like, dude, you won every amateur tournament, man.
Yeah.
You gotta make money, man.
What brought you into the gym the first time?
I was playing basketball at my recreational center in Queens Boulevard. I ran to go get some water. That's my first time, I think, I ever just seen boxing in real person. So I was like 16 years old, so I ran to the water fountain. I knew there was another water fountain downstairs. So I went downstairs by faith to the other water fountain, and I walked into, holy shit! This is amazing. Downstairs was like weightlifting in the recreation center, ping pong, and boxing. It was a sound that caught my attention more. It was amazing. It was like art to me. Like somebody was doing something different. I just seen it at that time of that little 2 seconds to go get the water fountain. I looked. That was the first time I've ever seen boxing in real person. And I was like, yo, I gotta sign up for that, man. Right away, I gotta sign up for that. I never wanted to play basketball ever again.
What's the most important thing you want to pass on to your son?
I want to pass on, I'm not saying don't have feelings, but you have to know how to control them. And everything else is temporary. We're temporary. Nothing is permanent. No condition is permanent. That's what I want to pass on to my sons. Whatever's happening in your life now, good or bad, it's temporary. Be very unbothered. I want to pass that trait that I have, being super unbothered and nonchalant about things, and notice what's important and what's not.
For people who are struggling with making change in their life, what would you say is the key to getting someone to actually make the change in their life?
They're not struggling. People are not struggling, especially people in America. They're not struggling, they just don't want to do it. I don't give a fuck how much passion you have for something. I've seen people that love boxing, boxing doesn't love them. You can love something, but it doesn't love you back. So people that are struggling with whatever they're trying to do, they gotta go find something else. I don't struggle to come here and meet you at 5 a.m. I just wake up and I was on my way. Your purpose wakes you up in the morning.
How do you want to be remembered?
Someone that brought light to people. You know, when people see me, they light up. I brought a lot of positivity, I brought a lot of energy into people. That's how I want to be remembered. I bring light to people's lives. My brother,
bro.
legendary G-Man in the building, baby. 5 a.m. in Calabasas. 5 a.m. in Calabasas, baby. Write that down. It's gonna be just as big as Jerry Seinfeld's in cars drinking coffee with comedians.